on, guys? Today's video we're going to be talking about maintenance and the importance of maintenance for these trucks. In order to keep these trucks on the road the way you want them to, and for them to last long, got to keep the maintenance up. Of course, that's with any vehicle, but specifically on these like heavy duty trucks with diesels, everything from like your Duramaxes, Power Strokes, Cummins, even your bigger trucks, you got to keep the maintenance up on them. But I'm just going to keep this video kind of short and sweet, to the point. I'm not going to make a long video for this one, but just let y'all know, like, I'm just going to let y'all know what I use, what I prefer to use in my truck on my 06 LBZ. I prefer, with the oil side, I use AMSOIL, not the expensive, not the true, like the really expensive synthetic, but it's an AMSOIL synthetic 15W40 heavy duty diesel oil. I use that year round because down here in the south it doesn't really get cold enough to have to switch to like a 10W40 or something like that in the wintertime. 1540 works perfect. So I prefer to just stick with a 1540, and I prefer AMSOIL. I've always had great success with AMSOIL. I've never had a problem. I've used Rotella before. Rotella gives you that kind of typewriter tick, and the AMSOIL is actually kind of like has kind of quieted the typewriter tick. That's one of the reasons why I prefer AMSOIL over over like Rotella or another like just regular oil product that you can find on the shelf at like O'Reilly's or Walmart or something like that. And for filter, I always use the AC Delco stock standard filter that comes on these trucks. I think it's an AC Delco filter number 2232. I'll have to look at the filter again just to double check, but AC Delco filter every time, AMSOIL, and I change my oil religiously every 5,000 miles. That's another big thing about keeping the maintenance up on these trucks. You got to be religious on keeping your oil changed. Some of the oil companies, especially AMSOIL, will claim you can double or triple how far you go. You can change your oil once a year, every like 10 to 25,000 miles. I don't trust that. I usually stick to a 5,000 mile oil change interval. And so that way I know that the oil's always fresh and clean and keeping the engine happy. Another thing I usually do when I change the oil, when I change the oil every other time, is I change the filters, the fuel filters on the FASS. Keeping fresh, clean fuel to your CP3 is very crucial, especially with these high pressure fuel systems. These CP3s can be upwards of up to like 26 to 28,000 PSI on fuel. So yeah, keeping fresh oil or fresh fuel to the CP3 is always a good thing. Yeah, keeping fresh fuel to your CP3, especially because the CP3s can have a 26 to 28,000, maybe even a 29,000, depending on what CP3 you're using. Fuel pressure. So always keeping fresh, clean fuel to your CP3 is always a crucial thing. That's why I always change my FASS filters every other oil change, which is every 10,000 miles. Another thing is to always, what I usually do with my maintenance schedules is every 10,000 as well. When I change the fuel filters, I'll change the spin-on filter on the Allison, the external filter. Just another little preventative maintenance type thing. It keeps fresh fluid, fresh transmission fluid, keeps it clean, make sure no debris gets into it, and it's always a good idea to just change it every 10,000 miles, just because these Allisons, they're strong, but when you start throwing power at them, you can tend to burn up some clutches. So just keeping the transmission fluid clean and debris free is always the best idea. But yeah, that's basically what my my maintenance schedule looks like. Is just every 5,000 oil change with a filter, every 10,000 fuel filters, oil change plus fuel filters plus transmission filter. And usually what I do, another like preventative maintenance type measure, every 50 to 60,000 miles, I will change the fluid in the transmission itself. Now this is one thing I don't do at the house. This is something I usually take it to a shop. Depends on if I want to go to the dealership, if I've got a coupon, or if I have a friend that has a shop locally, and he's available to do it for me real quick, then I'll get them to do it. But I usually let a shop take care of changing the fluid out in the transmission, just because I can't really pump fluid out of the torque converter and put fresh fluid into the torque converter, and I don't really have like the specific type of tools for that or the equipment. So I've taken the truck to the shop, let them do that. But that's basically what the gist of my maintenance is on this truck. Always grease your joints. Anything that has a greasable fitting, always grease them up every oil change. Can't stress that enough to make sure these trucks stay on the road. Whether it's your ball joints or your tie rods, hell, even your U-joints at your drive shafts. It's always a good idea, if you have greasable U-joints, it's always a good idea to just go on ahead and grease them up, just to make sure everything stays happy and everything. So anyway, guys, if you like the video, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I've got more content to come. I've got all my fuel side parts here. I'm just waiting for some time to take it to the shop, because some of this stuff I can't really do on my own. And I've got another part that's going to be that's going to be coming up shortly. I haven't ordered it yet, but I've been talking to some guys. My main parts people, Alligator Performance, I've been talking with them, trying to figure out a little thing to do, trying to figure out what I want to do, and power level wise, what I'm trying to keep it at. This truck's not going to be stupid powerful. I'm just trying to keep it a little, like, about around 500, maybe 550. I'm not trying to go stupid crazy on it. So just been talking with them, trying to get a little idea of what I want to do and what would be the great way, the good possible way to take the truck to. So anyways, I'll talk to y'all later. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, comment, any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. And I'll talk to y'all later.